Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, a couple of things will be different about tonight's show. We're fixing to get into the winter season of our show, where we'll be recognizing boys and girls basketball teams, wrestling, indoor track. They got bowling and other sports, and so we're going to try to recognize as many coaches and kids as we can. But before we do that, let's talk about what just ended, and it's been the football playoffs here in the state of Alabama, and we come away with a couple of championships this year. Right out of the gate, let me tell you who won the state championships. The AINA Bessemer Academy wins another championship. They really rolling down there in Bessemer. And on 1A, it was Maplesville. In 2A, it was Fife. In 3A, Piedmont. 4A, Hadley. 5A, Beauregard, and the thing about the Beauregard victory, it came over the Winona Dragons, who were in the state finals and got beat, come up in second place, but Coach Cheatham and his athletes had a great season. Then we get to Class 6A. Class 6A, Ramsey comes away, Coach Reuben Nelson and his squad, with a championship, first city championship in over 40 years. And Ramsey had been away from the football gridiron for quite a few years, came back in it 6 years ago, and sure enough, in 6 years, Coach Reuben Nelson has a #1 team here out of the city of Birmingham in Class 6A. And of course, 7A should come as no surprise. The Hoover Bucks win again. That's they beat McGill-Tulane. That's their 10th championship since 2000, and they have either been in the championship game or won the championship game in all but 2 of those years. And so, once again, the Hoover Bucks are reigning state champs in Class 7A, and our congratulations to Coach Niblett and the entire Hoover student body. What a great accomplishment they have. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our first guest of the evening, it will be a ladies basketball coach. Who is it? Well, you'll just have to come right back and we'll see. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. As I promised, our first coach of the evening, a ladies coach from Pelham. And of course, we're talking about Coach Brown. Coach Brown, good to see you.
Nice to be here,
First of all,
Snapper.
tell us a little bit about your background and how you ended up being the head coach there.
Well, my background goes way back. I was actually in the sales world for a long time. For about 7 or 8 years, I was in the business world and decided to take the plunge into education and started over at Pelham and was on the boys' side for a couple of years as an assistant, helping Coach Floyd on the boys' side. And then the girls' position came open, and they asked me if I'd step over there and take that, and I jumped at that opportunity because I saw a good group and a good program and it was heading in a good direction. So I jumped over there, and I'm starting my 5th year with the program this year.
Well then, Adam, the obvious question for us to talk about just for a second is you've been involved with the boys and with the girls. What kind of challenge, or is there a different challenge in coaching the boys and the girls?
You know, at first I thought there was going to be a big difference just because of just the way the girls and boys are made up athletically and the size and the speed and things, but there's not a big difference, to be honest. It's, when it comes down to it, fundamentals are fundamentals. You get a group that'll work hard and run through a brick wall for you. It doesn't matter whether they're a guy or a girl. So I think there's a lot of similarities, some differences, but if you get a group that'll work hard for you, it really doesn't matter.
You know, the reason I asked you this question, and I've asked other coaches about that too, because you've got it right. The primary aspects of basketball, passing, dribbling, shooting, they say that the young ladies are a lot more adept. The guys, it's like they want to make the highlight reels too much. But basic basketball, that the girls, basic principles, they handle that part of it or work on that. It's more significantly than the guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't have any that are going to be tearing the rim down, dunking the ball, so they have to figure out how to do the little things right and working on the fundamentals and ball handling and shooting it with the right form and you know, to take that advantage. So.
Well, I know going into this year, your team has not played up to the expectations that you have for them, and I'm sure that they have for themselves. But as the old saying goes, that will come. And here's the thing that I wonder about. I know most of the time you coaches the one that's set up y'all's schedule. And when you do that, do you, for lack of a better way to put it, do you like to schedule some teams you think that your team would do well against? Teams that may be on the same level as you, and do you like to maybe have a couple that are tougher than you? Because as the old saying goes, there is such thing in all sports, and basketball in particular for me, as good losses. You learn from losing. I think you learn more lessons from losing. It's easy to be a winner, as the old saying goes. How do you look at that?
Absolutely, yeah. We've always done, I think a lot of the programs will do it this way, but the guys and the girls coaches, Coach Floyd and I will get together and we'll determine who we want to, and a lot of times it's just a rollover from the previous season.
Right.
We owe them a game or they owe us a game, and so we do it together. We sit down together a lot, but then I do have some liberty, and he's got some liberty on that side to schedule some other games, and I like to schedule some teams that'll give us a challenge. You know, again, it's about battling, and it's about whether the score ends up in your favor or not. I think when you come away from it and you've gotten better and you've learned something about yourself and you've battled together, I think that tells you a lot about yourself, and I think you can come away with something a little bit more than just scheduling teams that you may or may not on paper just be able to beat by 20 or 30 points. I'm not so sure you get a lot out of that, but I think you get better, because when it comes down to it, when those area games start rolling around in that area tournament, you want to have been challenged. You want to have been tested at some point during the year, and that's why I like playing those harder games.
Well, the reason I share that with you, it seems like it doesn't matter what sport it is, but it seems like most of the coaches do feel like, hey, the tougher the competition, the better our players are going to be if they have it in them to be better.
Right.
Because you do gain from good losses. Now, do you want to lose all the time? No, nobody does. But what you do, like you said, in our case, in all of our sports, but basketball in particular, the area games determine whether or not you make the playoffs.
That's right.
And those are the games that you're going to play. How many times a year do you play the area teams? Just once or
You play them twice, once
That's
at your place, once at theirs.
Right.
And our area is made up this year. It's just 3 teams. It's made up of us, Helena, and Chelsea. So we'll play each of them 2 times, one at home, one away. And then we'll have the area tournament after that, after the seeding is done.
So in y'all's case, the area tournament would be the top 2 out of the 3 teams?
The top 2 out of the 3 will
Right.
then go to the sub-regionals.
Yeah, and the reason I brought that up is the fact of the matter is that each and every year, you know the area teams, whether it's a 3-team or 4-team, whatever, that's the teams you're going to be playing.
Right.
So the ones where you have the option to pick and choose, if that's the right term to use, is those non-area games.
Right, yeah, absolutely. We were able to add a few games that's not on the boys' schedule. We're playing in a couple of different tournaments this year. We played at Hewitt Thanksgiving tournament. We're playing in one over the Christmas holidays or after Christmas in Calera. And then we got the Jefferson County, Shelby County tournament this year, which is new. They're combining those 2 counties to do one big tournament.
Well, I wonder about your girls, I guess, and they would let you know about this. Are they the kind that they look forward to the traveling, going to different tournaments, lining up against different teams?
I think they do. I think they enjoy seeing different teams that they haven't seen in the past. Well, we play a lot of the same teams every year. It's just good rivalries. We owe each other, so we play the same teams. But I do think they enjoy seeing those different teams and going to the different schools, and they walk in and they see the differences and the similarities with our school. So I think they enjoy that, and they like getting on the road. I got a bunch of knuckleheads that like being silly and going and stopping and eating together, so they enjoy doing that stuff. It's a good bonding time for them.
Well, let me ask you this. You've been there, what did you say, this is your fifth?
Fifth year starting on the girls' side.
Okay. Now, have you seen the number of people come out for the basketball team improve a little bit?
It did the first couple of years, but then after we split, we had the split with Helena. It hit our numbers pretty good. But then for that next year, they remained fairly consistent, and then this year we had a little bit of a drop. It's just, I think it goes in spikes, and next year we're looking to have a good group come in from the middle schools.
Well, and the one thing that people don't realize, and every once in a while it's happened here in the Birmingham area, and the primary reason being growth.
Right.
And population in these schools and neighborhoods, where there have been new schools, there have been a half a dozen in the last few years, and each time that happens, somebody's going to take a hit.
Right.
And the only reason is because, let's just say it this way, you'd probably lose half your athletes to that new school,
right.
and then you got to grow from within again, and so that's a challenge as well. But having said that and all, Coach, so far, do you see your girls and all you're hoping for is improving? Because what they want to do is take advantage of those area games, because they're the ones that's going to determine whether they make the playoffs or not. And usually they're not that far apart. So
Right.
you're playing a lot of games around them. And so what you're hoping for is, like all coaches do, is they peak at the right time, right?
Yeah, no, they absolutely. And does our record show what we are right now? I don't think it does. Are we happy with it? Not at all. But we are improving. I think we haven't played with a full squad yet in terms of injuries and things, people being out. We haven't played with a full team yet in this first start to our season. So, we've had our struggles, but we've also shown times where we've made some growth, and I think we're getting there. Individually, they're making strides, and as a team, I think we're starting to come together. Now, it's going to happen. I know it is. We just got to be patient. Well,
I tell you what, Coach, we wish you all the luck in the world. And as the old saying goes, sometimes you take that hard road, it makes the reward a whole lot sweeter. But
that's right.
We wish you all the luck in the world, and who knows, maybe by the end of the season you got a tournament.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Sniper.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We come back, some of the youngsters that make a significant difference in what kind of basketball team they got. We'll be right back.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say, I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gardendale in Trussville today.
Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
At Andrews Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine, orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine, shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrews Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, post-operative decisions, pre-operative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. The teams, the players, the parents, have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them, we're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing and as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Injury Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I got three gorgeous looking young women up here, but they're basketball players tonight, and that's what we're talking about. Tania T. Person, Tania Person, and we got Tamika Waters, and we've got Jamila Wilson. Now, see, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
but we'll start with you, T, a senior and a forward. All right, going into this year, what kind of goals did you have for you personally and for the team as well?
Well, my goals were to lead the team. You know, it's my last year. I should, you know, I feel like I have to take responsibility, you know, before I leave, I need to, yeah.
Well, to me, it seems like you relish that role, that you don't mind being put in a leadership role.
Yes, I do.
Because I guarantee the coach leans on seniors.
Right.
And because a lot of times, believe it or not, there are some problems that you older girls can solve on a team that the coach might have problems with. He'd get it done, but y'all could get it done better. But that's good. That's good. Tamika Waters, and you're a junior and you're a forward.
Yes, sir.
What are your aspirations for you this year and for your teammates?
To just get better and to help them to get better with my skills and with them also.
Okay. Do you think that this is a playoff team?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to say that. Yes, I do. Okay. Jamila Wilson, you're a scoring guard, shooting guard. That's a scoring guard. Same difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Can you fill it up?
Oh, I can.
You can. All right. Who do you feel like is the biggest competition that, of course, you know, you play your whole season, but like Coach and I talked about, the area schedules what determines whether or not you're going to play. Who do you feel like the biggest threat is for you guys?
In area or just all?
Just the area, yeah.
Just area.
Because that'll get you in the tournament.
I think Helena.
Really?
They're the biggest threat.
Who is your biggest rival?
Thompson.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. It's always been for years and years and years. Ever since I've been doing this, seeing the sports scene, that Thompson and Pelham, yeah, they could get into cat fights. No, I'm just playing, but you know what I mean. It's competition y'all look forward to playing them.
It's cat fights.
Well, girls, I know that you're pretty athletic. Let's go into the classroom because we talk about the fact that, one, if you don't qualify in the classroom, you don't make it to the basketball court, right? First of all, what's your favorite subject?
I like government. And
Really?
Yes, sir, economics.
So a question that I could ask you, no, it wouldn't
Go
be
ahead,
the
go
one
ahead.
yeah, what would you do if you were president? What would be the first thing you'd do?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a good answer.
What would you do?
Well, first of all, I'd try to pull the country together after I fired all the people that didn't need to be there.
Right,
But that's
okay.
enough said about that, okay? We'll get away from that question. All right, here's one that will suit your fancy. What do you like doing? You like studying more knowledge, or do you like shopping?
I like to shop.
You do?
I love to shop.
We have what we call in our society alcoholics. That's bad.
Right.
Shopaholics.
That's me.
That's good, right? Okay, where's your favorite spot to shop?
Well, I like to shop at Dick's, Nike. outlets and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so you're the sporty lady.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I can get a little dressy. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Michael, what about you? What if you could go shopping? I know you love shopping, right?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I like to receive the clothes. I don't like to go get them.
Oh, really?
So
Well, that's
Mom
sort
shops.
of, you know what? That's very smart. I let my wife shop for me.
Yeah, 'cause she
But
takes
guess
forever.
what? When she brings it home, I better like it because I'm going to wear it since I didn't go get it. But that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. How about you, Jamila? You enjoy shopping? Or?
I mean, if it's black, as long as it goes together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we gotta look good, right? It's got, in other words, we're not going to put red with yellow. You know, that's a fire engine, right? Something like that. Turn somebody else. We want the soft colors, right?
Black.
Okay, girls. Another thing I'd like to ask you, and I ask guys and the girls this too, because sometimes you don't know what kind of answer you're going to get. If you have a hobby, or are you superstitious about anything? Because all of us either have hobbies or superstitions. In other words, what would be I'd find interesting from you, T, if you told me, since I've never met you before, and I'd say, really, you like that? What would it be?
Good that you asked that question. Well, something kind of weird. I like to eat tissue before the game.
Really?
Yeah, it's I don't know, it calms me down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I used to eat a little tissue.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You know, sometimes a little dirt on the side.
I can just see this under your name, each tissue on the side. But
I mean, yeah, the last game we played, well, the two last games we played, you know, I had like 17 points. So
you did.
Yeah.
You ate a lot of tissue that night, right? So
gobbled it up. Yeah, ate the whole
Bless your
row.
heart. That's the first time I've ever had anybody tell me that. But if it works for you, don't
That's
stop.
Right. That's right.
Coach is saying eat more.
That's right.
How about you, Michael? What would I need to know about you?
I like to model.
You like what?
To model.
You do. That
Yeah.
don't surprise me. But guess what? You got to model the clothes that somebody brought you because you don't want to go get them.
No, I don't.
But that's okay. Modeling.
Yeah.
Well, do you hope to do that one day, or interior decorator? Or I don't know. That has to do with the house and all, though, doesn't it?
I'm a home decorator.
You ain't worried about it. You're going to decorate your body, right?
Oh, no, I don't know about all that, but I want to model.
Oh, okay. How about you, Jamila?
I guess before games, like I like to put on Vaseline. I don't like to be ashy.
Oh, I never like my lips to be chapped either, because then every time they crack and it just
They
hurts so
white.
much when.
That's why I had to bleed.
Yeah, when I kissed a girl and I'd have to apologize, my lip hurts, you know. But that's okay. That's all right. That's a superstition. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, now girls, on a lighter note, you're a senior.
Yes.
All right, now where do you hope to go to school? What kind of subjects you hope to take?
Well, after high school, I don't plan on going to college. I plan on going to the Air Force.
Really? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes,
good for you.
And then maybe later on to college.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, I know it's a year or so away. You plan on going to college one day?
Yes, I want to go to Alabama or South Alabama.
And what kind of courses? What do you hope to
I
do
want to
one
be
day?
a pediatric nurse. I want to go nursing.
Oh, okay, okay. And how about you, young lady?
I would like to either go to Tennessee or Alabama.
Well, those are two great schools. Now, what would you like to study?
Business, brand management.
Okay, would you like to maybe coach one day?
Maybe down the line.
Well,
once I
that
get
may
settled.
be a maybe. Okay, well, girls, here's the final question for you, and it's one I always enjoy asking young athletes. To this point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
I would have to say my mom and God, of course. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yes, sir.
My mother.
Yeah, moms, we're depending on you, Mom.
That's right.
I would like to say my grandmother.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, girls, you've been a delightful group. I found out some interesting things about you. Now, here's what I'm going to challenge you on. Be the best young basketball players you can be, and I look forward to seeing you in the tournaments at the end of the season,
Yes,
okay?
Sir. Yes, sir. We look forward to seeing you too.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't you go away.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gardendale in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back in this segment. We're visiting with the Gardendale boys basketball coach, Ryan Griffin. Coach Griffin, good to see you.
Good to see you.
And for people that might be seeing you the first time, tell us a little bit about your background and what's led you to the head coaching job there at Gardendale.
Well, I didn't really have much of a chance to do anything else in life. I grew up in a gym. My dad was a basketball coach for 30. He's still a basketball coach, actually, Sumter Christian. He was at Dora for 20 years, which is where I grew up, and then he went to Gardendale for about 12. And about the time he was getting ready to retire, I was getting into it. So that's pretty much how I ended up where I am. I didn't ever know any other thing, and I probably didn't have a real good chance to get into anything else. But that's kind of how I got here.
How many years now?
This is actually my 16th, I believe, 15th.
Wow.
You lose count once you get up. 15 or 16.
Well, I know. This is my 17th, fixing to be 18th year to do this program, and so the years get away, don't they?
They do. They go by once you.
Well,
once you
I
get
tell you
old,
what,
they start just flying by, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Let's talk this year about a little bit about this year's team. What do you expect out of this bunch, and are they where you want them to be right now in this part of the season?
I really, I wasn't real sure what to expect. We have a relatively new group from last year. I mean, we do have some players that are back, but as far as expectations, I expected us to play hard, and I expected us to, do the things that we need to do to try to be as good as we can. And other than that, I really didn't know what to expect as far as results. As far as where we are right now, as far as where we are exactly right now, I'm relatively pleased. I think we probably could have. We let a couple of games early get away that we probably could have got, but we've got some guys that are hurt and injured, and so we've got some problems, in that regard. But as far as the guys that we got going out on the court right now, they're playing really hard. So I've been pleased the last 3 or 4 or 5 games out. I've been really pleased with the effort, and I think we're getting better.
Well, we like to ask coaches a lot of times, what style do you want your teams to be? And past that, are you the kind of coach that you want them to play your style, or can you adapt and play to the strengths that you have, or do you expect it to happen the other way?
Well, I don't really, that's probably one of my problems as a coach, is I really don't necessarily have a style. I like them all. I just like basketball. I want to try to build, I have things that I want to do as a coach, and I think you've got to coach somewhat to your strengths. You only know how to do things, kind of sort of only know how to do things the way that you know how to do them, and I think you've got to, that's got to reflect in your coaching, but I also think you've got to take the kids that you've got and you've got to work with their strengths and be able to, combine what you want to do and how you want to do it, but also be able to build around what the kids that you've got can do.
Right. Are you one of those in a perfect world you would prefer an up-tempo game, or do you like a more structured, let's come down the court, set up the plays and run them?
Well, to be honest with you, in a perfect world, Snapper, I'd like for my guys to be able to run and play fast, but I don't want you to. I want you to have to line up and play against our defense.
Right.
I don't want you to be able to get easy baskets against us. So, I want running to be one way. I know the kids like to run, and I'm all for that. But it's like I tell them, running's got to be one way. If you can run and they're going to let you run, that's fine. But we can't let people run and get easy shots on us. They got to line up and play against our.
When I ask a coach about that, and we start expanding on that a little bit, and you talk about wanting to run and get physical with people, in the Birmingham area, I think about Mountain Brook.
Oh, yeah.
And, buddy, you talk about you got to be in shape, one, and you got to be determined to play that style. If you're going to run on one end, you better be ready or to run on the other end, to sort of balance it off. But you're absolutely right. I mean, I think anytime transition points are the easiest points you can make.
That's right.
And so, but not almost 100% of the time that transition comes from defense, great defensive stops or whatever, or steals. So at this point in the season, do you think that this group that you have is a playoff team when the season's over with?
I think we, playoff team, everybody in our area, I think, is pretty even. I think we definitely can be. We've got to get better. But I think that there's a chance that, if we get better and we do the things we need to do and we can get some guys back on the court that, I think, we can get out and we can make some noise.
Since you've been there at Gardendale, have the people or the guys participating in basketball, have those numbers grown from year to year or about the same? How would you
That's
describe
actually
that?
Interesting question. We've got more guys in the program this year than I've been the boys coach. This is the 6th year as the head boys coach. I assisted my dad for 3, so it's the 9th year overall in the boys, but this is the most guys we've ever had. And, it just seems like we're getting more and more guys that want to play and, have some things that they can bring to the team. So we've actually got more guys in the program than we've ever had.
And the thing about it, too, I would think that the competition within the team for those spots, if you've got more people vying for it, that gives you a better chance to put better athletes out there,
That's right. It makes it harder on you as a coach, but yeah, it's a good problem. The more competition you have, the better your guys are going to be.
Now, I guess, are you in an area, 4-team area?
4-team area.
And who is your opponent?
Pinson Valley, Clay Chalkville, and Center Point.
And so the top 2, I guess, or do you go in 1 through 4 or top 2?
The top 2, you play throughout the season. You play everybody twice,
Right.
and then you go into an area tournament, and the top 2 the top 2 teams in that area tournament advance.
Oh, okay, yeah, and you get into cross play. So right now, are you one of these coaches that thinks the tougher the competition you play, the better chance your team has to be better, not only individually but as a team?
I do. I think you need to play. You need to play tough competition. We've got some very good competition coming in tomorrow night. So I think you've got to play some tough games. I also think it's beneficial sometimes to have people on the schedule that you might be a little bit better than.
Right.
Because I think you need to get used to winning, but it definitely helps when you get to play against better competition and see people who are quality teams. It helps you later.
You've been there a few years now, and one last question I want you to talk about just a little bit is maybe the support from the community and the staff above you. I mean, that's important for a coach to have those people in those supporting groups.
Absolutely. I think we've got great support from parents. I think we've got great support from administration. People above us, they pretty much will do whatever we need, and I think that we definitely we're blessed in that regard. But you're absolutely right. You got to have support from the parents to the staff to the administrators to the other teachers in the school. You need it all the way through.
So the one thing we'll end on is, I'm sure you're like every other coach. You hope that your team builds to the point and peaks come playoff time, right?
Absolutely. That's something we talk about. We want to be at our best in January, end of January, 1st of February. That's where we want to be at our best.
And folks, we have been talking with Ryan Griffin, the outstanding coach at Gardendale, and we'll be back in just a moment to visit with some athletes. Don't you go away.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Oh, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Folks, I want to tell you about, once again, a new sponsor that we have on our program, and we're awfully glad. We've been affiliated with them on and off, and we've got them back on with us, and we're talking about Andrews Sports Medicine. They're the world-renowned sports medicine physicians and orthopedic surgeons there at Andrews Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. They bring decades of experience and dedicated research in their respective fields. They are highly trained orthopedic specialists providing the most advanced sports medicine available in the United States. This group is well known for being the official sports medicine providers for the Alabama Crimson Tide, Auburn Tigers, Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Sanford Bulldogs, and dozens of high school programs in the central Alabama area. However, they are also available to provide folks such as us, you and me, who have an athletic mindset, the experts that is, but also the real experts at Andrews Sports Medicine aggressively pursue victory over every injury. Go to andrewsportsmedicine.com to start making your comeback today. Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well. And folks, as you can tell, I've got 3 young strapping athletes up here that look like they're ready to hit the basketball court. That's pretty simple. It's because they're basketball players. We got Jay Brooks, you're a senior point guard.
Yes, sir.
And next to him, Luke Pennington, senior guard. And the big man up top, Jacoby Bradford, senior and forward. So, guys, first of all, Jay, I'll ask you this question. Going into this year, what do you expect out of yourself personally and your team as a unit?
Out of myself, I expect to run the team as a floor general, make sure that we are under control at all times. And from the team, I just want us to play hard, go out there and get a win.
Well, let me ask you, do you like that idea of being point guard? I mean, you're the one that sort of dictates a lot of what happens on the court, especially on the offensive end.
Yes, sir. I like being in control.
Well, that's good. I mean, the coach's got to have confidence in you or you wouldn't be there. Luke, does that make you the shooting guard?
Yes, sir, it does.
Really? Okay, now I got to be honest. If I was honest, I'd leave the leadership to somebody else, and I'd love that shooting part.
Yes, sir.
But we all got a job to do. Going into this year, talk about what you was hoping out of yourself and for your team.
For myself, I want to get better at shooting personally. I've had a few rough patches, but I mean, we've worked on it. And Jay, I like him being point guard because he can beat guys off the dribble a lot, and he likes dishing it out to me. So I enjoy getting passes from him, and I expect us as a team to work hard and play to the best of our ability and play as hard as we possibly can.
Well, you're right. When you got a point guard that can get people out of position, that's going to leave somebody open. And part of his job is to find that open man. Then, like you said, part of your job is to knock it down,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Jacoby, how about you? You're a senior forward. What do you expect out of your play this year?
Expect us to play really hard, not to give up. Really just to make sure we play hard and just get after it. I feel like everybody has a responsibility, everybody has a role to do. If we just stick to those and play our part and everything we have.
Do you think that you and your teammates, before it is over with, will have a playoff team that you hope to make some noise in the playoffs?
Most definitely. I think we have a young group of guys that can get the job done.
Well, the guys, one question I always enjoy asking young athletes is, this is the first time I've met you guys, and athletes are a superstitious bunch. I mean, we all are. I've been there, and many years ago I was there. But what I would want to know, is there something about you that you have a superstition, or do you have a hobby or something you enjoy doing that if you told me about it, that would surprise me? Sort of like writing poetry, and I don't see a big, there. Singing in the shower, we're 10s. When we're singing in the shower, that shower goes off, we find out we're a 1, But is there any hobby you have or superstition? We'll start with you, Jay.
Not really. I always just love basketball, just love all types of sports.
Okay, now, having said that, do you participate in any other sports for the high school?
Not in high school,
Okay.
but throughout my youth league in middle school, I played football, and I was on the swim team.
Oh, okay. Luke, how about you? Is there something about you that would surprise me if you told me?
Not really. I mean, I played baseball for high school too.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, basketball has always been my first love.
What position you play on the baseball team?
Pitcher and outfield.
Yeah, okay. Well, you look like a long, tall guy. Are you more of a finesse pitcher or power pitcher?
More finesse.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that either. How about you, Jacoby?
Not really. Just like Jay, I played basketball most of my life. I did play baseball for 2 years. That's about it.
All right. Well, what I always enjoy too finding out is who, and we're going to go professional because that's what more people know about. What professional basketball player, Jay, if you could have just a little bit of their ability, who would you like to play like?
Isaiah Thomas.
Who?
Isaiah Thomas.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So he was a little general that had a lot of success both in college and the pros, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
If you're just that close to Isaiah, you're going to be a star. You know that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Luke?
Me? Personally, I like Clay Thompson.
Yeah. So you like the kind of offense they run out there where it's like they're going to put the points on the board every night?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good, Clay. And how about you, Jacoby?
LeBron James, because he likes to set the floor. He's pretty much a team player. He looks for his teammates as well as able to score.
Well, there's not too much he can't do on the floor, right? Now, look, if I'm not mistaken, all three of you guys seniors, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Jay, do you hope to play college somewhere? Or,
Yes, sir.
Do you know where you might want to go?
Not yet.
All right. Now, when we get to school, there's two things. There's athletics and the books, right?
Yes, sir.
What kind of subject would you take? What would you hope to do?
Physical education.
What?
Physical education.
Do you think you'd like to be a coach one day?
Yes, sir.
Really? Basketball?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Luke, how about you? Where would you want to go? What kind of subjects?
Well, if basketball doesn't work out, I'm going to just use my ACT score and just go for that.
Okay.
Plan on studying engineering.
Oh, really? Okay, good. Do you have a school that you'd prefer to go to if you worked
Either
out?
Alabama or UNA.
Oh, okay, great. How about you, Jacoby?
I really don't know what college yet, but do plan on going to community college. Probably take up engineering too, as well, because
Okay. Well, listen, the last question I got, guys, to this point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons in your life? And we'll start with you, Jay.
My mom, my little brother.
Okay, good for you. Luke?
Personally, my grandfather.
Okay, and how about you, Jacoby?
my grandparents.
Well, great. Well, listen, guys, you're seniors, and so what you want to do is go out on as high a note as you can, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means two things. One, let's make the playoffs first. And two, when we get there, let's do some damage, all right?
Yes, sir.
But good luck to you, and whatever your endeavors are when you go to school and on in your professional careers, whatever they may be, okay?
Yes.
And folks, you know what the Snapper always says, till the next time I see you, bicycle.